still looking for some awesome writing apps. Hello, I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hemingway app. And anywho, how does the Hemingway app work? Well, let's take a look. For this one, I imported the next episode of Despair into Hemingway. And as you can see, it lights up like a Christmas tree. We've got quite a few that are hard to read, some that are very hard to read, but it still reads at a 6th grade reading level, which is still good. Now, at any point, I can go through and try to fix these sentences to make them easier to read, but it comes down to you and your audience, really. What if I don't want to write a book for 6th graders? But this comes naturally, as I often try to write as easy as possible, mostly because of the blogs. It's kind of a hard habit to get out of, actually. But as you can see, there's simpler alternatives. I can hover over it and decide maybe I would rather use the word before rather than previously. Apparent, I can use clear and plain. My biggest issue, though, is adverbs. I have a tendency to overload adverbs quite often, and so I might go through and recheck some of these. Now, the bad side to the Hemingway app is that it doesn't have a spell checking ability, at least one that I've seen. Luckily, I have the Grammarly Chrome extension running at the same time, so I can just use it to fix a word rather than worry about Hemingway trying to do it. Now, I did put that in there on purpose. I could delete that since I don't need it. But that's pretty much the gist of it. It goes through and scans everything and gives you alternatives of ways to sprucing up the language. Like, here we go, passive voice. The goal is 20 or fewer within this length of content, which is 1,300 words. And as you can see, I have quite a bit of passive voice here and there, which I'm probably going to see if I can fix that, especially when it comes to your dialogue, because, you're going to write how people talk, at least I do. And I know that when I talk, I use a lot of adverbs and a lot of passive voice. But at any rate, I'll probably go through this and fix a lot of stuff. And as you can see, where is it? I found one earlier. See, here's the difference between Hemingway, which is yellow, and then this here is Grammarly. So Grammarly works alongside the Hemingway app nicely, actually. Yeah, so that's how the next episode of Despair looks. One of the other cool features of the Hemingway app is on the right side here. We have the Show More link, which will let you know about the average reading time, how many letters, characters, words, sentences, and paragraphs you have in the entire set. Now, the downside to the Hemingway app is that you're not going to be able to save this file, so you wouldn't want to use it for something that's super long because there's no way to export it, there's no way to save it. So what I would suggest doing is writing something short and easy, edit it, and then copy it, paste it into something else. Like, I'll probably use this and then paste whatever I want into Readsy or, God forbid, Kindle Create. Now, one of the cooler features about the Hemingway app is that it keeps the formatting when you're using headers and links, so you can copy and paste it directly into WordPress. This means you can make your blog posts look a hell of a lot better when you're writing. For example, let's take a look at this one here. Now, this is an article. It's not even really an article, just a quick little 183 word thing I put together just to see if the headers work and the links work when copying over to WordPress. So we're going to copy all of this text, copy, then we're going to go into WordPress and we're going to paste it into the blocks. And not only does it keep all of the headings correct, grabs the links, it also puts each paragraph into its own block. So if I wanted to move the blocks, I can in WordPress. So that is probably one of the sweetest aspects of the Hemingway app, is that you can use it perfectly, copying and pasting it directly into WordPress. The only problem is that you'll have to add your images later on, because there's no way to add images to Hemingway. So what if you have an older blog post that you'd like to spruce up in Hemingway? Well, you can just go to your blog post, and then you can copy it just like you did before. So we're going to copy the entire thing here. We're going to go back into Hemingway and paste it into a new file. Bam! It even keeps all the headings correctly, keeps the link, so you can make all the changes you want and then copy and paste it back into WordPress. So when you're writing blog content, the Hemingway app works exceptionally well. Now, I wouldn't use the Hemingway app for anything longer than maybe a few thousand words because you can't really save it. unless you plan on copying it from Hemingway into a doc file, and then from the doc file back into Hemingway when you want to write more to it. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. Now, the Hemingway does come with a desktop version that's $20, and I don't know if that has a built-in spell checker to it. That's probably one of the biggest downsides that I found so far to the Hemingway app, is that it doesn't have a built-in spell checker. But if you're using it on the browser and you have something like the Grammarly Chrome extension installed, Grammarly will actually edit and change the words as you're writing, depending on how screwed up your spelling is, and highlight things that it has absolutely no clue what you're trying to write. So using Grammarly with Hemingway works really well. Now I'm debating on buying the desktop version, mostly to see how well it works. It's actually $19, and it's a one-time fee, so it's not like I'm bleeding cash every month. It's pretty basic. It does a good job at finding all these different nuances that are in your text, but yeah, the spell checking thing really rubs me the wrong way. But I do like how you're able to export file types in the Hemingway desktop version, which would make things a lot easier. That depends, because if you're just exporting it into a doc, then you have to take it from the doc and put it into a book editor or book formatting tool anyway. So I don't know. I mean, all you have to do is go to the Hemingway app website, that's hemingwayapp.com, and start writing. There's nothing to sign into. You don't have to create an account. It's just there. So is this something I would continue to use? I can see doing a few things with it. I do like how it's able to keep the formatting for headers and links, so I can write some decent blog posts in Hemingway and just copy and paste it directly into WordPress. So I can see that as being part of my routine. And since Grammarly works with it, I don't have to worry about spelling errors. Now, one of the downsides to it is that it is essentially just a writing tool. It's not a book formatter. So unlike Readsy, you would have to like copy and paste it into a formatting tool anyway. Now, the difference between it and Readsy is that Readsy doesn't have this cool little built-in readability passive voice detection system built in. So if Hemingway and Readsy did like a collaboration, that'd be great. And I would have liked to have seen some more additions to Hemingway, such as setting writing goals. That's one of the big things I like about Readsy, and I'm a bit of a dork when it comes to numbers, and so when I see the goals things come up, that's one thing that excites me. But to offset that is that you can write it in Hemingway, copy and paste it into Readsy, and you're good to go. Plus it spruces up the text anyway, so it might not be a bad idea to use the Hemingway app as like a starting point to whatever you're trying to create. Just remember not to create anything that's longer than 10,000 words, otherwise you could wind up losing your entire work unless you copy and paste it. Anyway, so what is your favorite writing tool so far? Mine is probably Readsy. I do like the Hemingway app's ability to go through and search the content, but I do like the formatting aspect of Readsy and the goals, and it does give you suggestions on certain words that you can change. It also works with Grammarly, so I don't know. I could see using Hemingway as the first stage to writing a chapter and then pasting it directly into Readsy. So I don't know. It's definitely something that I'd probably wind up continuing using, mostly to see how well it works. Maybe I can create an experiment as to checking the on-page time of a blog post to see if sprucing up the language of an article makes an improvement. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button for more videos about writing, self-publishing, freelance writing, blogging, or anything else I cover. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think that's going to do it for me today. It is 98 degrees out there. I'll see you next time.